That's a lie. I'd like to drive a barrel shifter. It's not a single speed.
No, I know.
To the door. Yeah. And straight to the
You need to ask if you can open the door. Obviously, you can open the door. You're coming in to be spoken to as the guest. Kian Spies Jamie Smith. Hello, everybody. Hello.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your... Well, let's do our intro before we get in. Hello and welcome to a very special Commentators Curse episode. This is our African Open special. This was decided on Saturday night, on the circuit, turn 3, between myself, Kian, and Henry, while we're having a bit of a chat. We decided we're going to have a very special Commentators Curse episode with the voice of the Grand Finals, Henry Baudet, and our two senior winners, Senior Max and DD2, Kian? It's Spies, Kian Spies, yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah. Kian Spies and Jamie Smith, DD2 winner. Guys, what we always do on the show is, for the intro, tell me who you are and a little bit about yourself. We'll kick off with you, Kian.
Well, my name's Kian Spies. I've been racing for...
Not Kian Spies.
No.
Not Keanu. Oh, yeah, okay, all right.
You would have thought that
with
with a grand sort of 9 letters across both names, that it'd be quite an easy one to get right, but apparently not so.
Well, in South Africa, what we do with Kian is we give him a different name every week we say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially if Carl's not announcing the trophies. Yeah.
Yes.
We've got a habit of pronouncing.
Keeps it interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
every time.
Just get a bit closer to the mic, though. As well.
Yeah, sure. Well, I've been racing for, I think, 6 years now. Started in 4 strokes with Neil. Went to 2 strokes with Neil and then Extreme. Joined ICE and won an African Open. So that's my career.
There we go.
Let's forget the T4 national, the T4 title. Let's forget the triple A. Let's forget the fact we've done a couple of Europeans.
The T4 title is you're the reason I won it. So I don't like giving you credit.
No,
it really does,
Yeah.
My ego's getting big enough as it is, but I've just had 2 kids on here, you don't thank me as well. So,
okay.
we're going to let the ego deflate.
You get enough
I'm
praise.
also, I suppose we will mention that, but I'm also a Tillotson South Africa champion. I've been to the Nations Cup twice. I did MSA4 for a year, although I would like to not very much talk about that.
Yeah, you should have told me that.
And
Now wait till Portugal tell that story again,
cool.
okay?
And that's pretty much my story. I
Jamie?
guess.
Well, I'm Jamie Smith, obviously. I've been racing now for 10 years. We started in 2015, practicing, and then started racing 2016. Beginning of 2016, we started importing cargo carts, myself, my dad, and my brother. And we've just taken it from there, grown the Burrell brand. Won Africa Open in 23, went to grand finals in 23, is my first appearance. Had a break in 24, nearly won it again in 25 Africa Open, and now we're back in 26.
So you're going to be a 2-time member of the South Africa national karting team. I know, Kian, that you've raced for South Africa at the Tillotson T4, but look, this is the big dance. There's no other thing.
That's not comparable.
Yeah.
It's nothing is comparable.
Nothing at all.
You know that, Jamie. You're about to realise that, Kian, when you look at that race suit, Jamie, you're a Burrell importer, so you wear your red and white. You run with Formula K, ICE Motorsport, but that race suit, if you almost don't want to look at it, do you?
It's not your one.
I'm keen for mine.
But you are going to have, and you're going to look down, and this is Kyle's in 2023, but you're going to look down, that's going to be K Spies, South African flag. When you first saw J. Smith, South African flag, what hit you? And you're what? When you first qualified in Bahrain, 22, 21 years old?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, even then, we talk about the kids.
Yeah.
What was it like for you? What was it like for you?
Well, that's like I was actually going to say now, because Jamie and I got ours at the same time.
Yeah.
Because there's a bit of a story behind that. I'm glad you bring it up, because I didn't pay for that, actually. That is
Surprise.
fair point. Yeah, invite some of your mates out and have a
You did a
podcast.
deal,
Great
did
idea.
you? You did a deal, did you?
No, whoa. This is a family show. Okay.
No.
So Jamie being the brilliant importer, I was doing KZ with him in 22.
Yes.
We won the championship in 22 in
22,
KZ.
yes.
We won the KZ2 and the Masters the same year. And they phoned me in February and said, look, we want to do it again this year. Would you race for us? Sure, no problem. I didn't have any clients, not an issue. I'll be meeting at the track at FK and we'll go testing. And I get to the track at FK at 102 kilograms weighing personally because KZ Masters weight's quite high and I can get away with being a bit of
And I've
a
eaten
big
food
back.
in South Africa.
And you've eaten food in South
So I
Africa. You
know
know
how easy it is to get to 102 kilos, yeah.
So I get to the track and it's 3 weeks or 4 weeks, 3 weeks before the first race.
Yeah.
And Neil shows the card with my number. He put my number 29 on it. I always raced at 29 or I was 129 Masters.
Yeah.
But I get that I go, Neil, this card's missing 4 gears. Like, it's only got 2. I'm supposed to be driving on the set. He's like, no, I've decided you're doing DDT Masters this year.
Okay.
So, shortcut, had to lose 15 kilograms in a very short
Got
period of
thrown in
time.
the
Got
deep
thrown
end
in the
really
deep end,
quick.
told to swim after 10 years out of a kart. But Jamie and I raced as teammates that year. And at the end of the year, it was like, well, I've got my ticket. Jamie's going as well. We can't afford all of us to go. Like, it's quite expensive out of South Africa. Go to Bahrain. I had one sponsor that covered local but not international. So Jamie and his dad actually got together and got me the South African suit. They even went so far as to make sure that I had all my photos paid for when I got there. I had all my photos given to me, so I had the experience. My ticket still sits up at your workshop. I'm sure it's going to go next to that one as well.
Going next to the other two.
That's the one thing I wanted, and the reason I told the story is not just to Jamie's horn. It's to show the camaraderie that's in South African motorsport. We only ever talk about the negative often.
No.
But there is a massive amount of
Positive.
so Neil Smith got me my suit. Boyd paid for my accommodation. I did a backer buddy where the entire South African karting fraternity climbed in. Kian was one of them. All clubbed in to get my flights paid for. So every single person in the South African karting community contributed to getting me to that grand final.
Yeah.
And it becomes then no longer, I'm racing for myself. And I think that's the difference.
Racing for Team South Africa.
Yeah, and I think there's been a nice, especially with this group that's going to go now, looking at the National Championship and the African Open, there's a mindset change between all of us. And that is, we're going
gonna go
as Team
as
South
one.
Africa.
Yeah. Yes.
We're going to go take back, because we are still the best Rotax. No.
Oh,
I
You
agree-
cooked the
I
figures.
agree
I
with
disagree.
Carl.
yeah.
I agree with Carl, yeah.
You've cooked the figures.
South
15 to
Africa.
14.
South Africa.
Yeah, 15 to 14, yeah. So we're
South
15 to 14.
Africa are the original global superpower
Yes.
of the Rotax Grand Finals.
Yes.
A lot of people have forgotten that fact.
And I think
You know?
we go remind them of it.
And I'm trying to remind them, especially this week, you know, you're going to a class where when the grand finals were at Zwartkops, you know, Mark Cronje was the winner. Claudio Piazza Musso was third in your class. Your class has been won on your class, the DD2. Cristiano Morgado is Mr. Grand Finals.
Yeah, when everyone sees him there.
Yeah, it's like all over it. Yeah.
You are. He's the most successful grand finalist ever. 27. This is going to be first one in 2000. Now we're up to 2026. So 26 editions because 2020 got cancelled. Mark Kimber's got 4 wins. So Morgado's got 5. South Africa 14 wins. Wesley's got 2. You know, Leroy Poulter is Ken Walker, the original voice, says the best race he's ever seen was Leroy Poulter versus Adrian Estasi at one grand final, last lap.
Yeah, last lap, wasn't it last corner as well?
Second to last
corner?
corner.
You know
Second
him
last
because
corner, yeah.
Leroy's one of our heroes, yeah.
Yeah, and you notice this, you study this, the grand finals are a big deal, you know. Now that you're getting older and you're carrying the baton of South African karting very well, very professionally, very personably, you know, and with a mindset of, yes, I want to win, but there's bigger things than just me at stake here.
Well, we're talking more about Jamie than Kian with that attitude, but yeah.
You know, no. But you know, you are aware, sort of like that a successful weekend of the grand finals can make your career. This oak turns up after having, and I didn't know that everybody had chipped in to get him there. So he turns up in Bahrain. First thing he does was like, says to me, Henry, I'm coming after your job. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm Welsh. So I was like, right, you're in. Get in the comments box. You do a mini match. he swum and didn't sink, you know. But of course, after all of the efforts, then to see his voice on the grand finals, that's almost like a thank you. Hey, everyone chirped
you guys got me.
But then Kyle gave South Africa value for money. Not by getting it, but no, in terms of coverage, speaking about karting in South Africa, not getting excluded from the pre-final because that was an absolute wet wipe.
What type of ballad would do that?
But yeah, what type of person who is actually now becoming part of the official Rotax team on their first time in the Rotax commentary box, you know, alongside the main speaker, would then go and get themselves excluded for launching some... that Canadian hasn't landed yet. What a way to create a first impression. And then,
first impressions always last.
Yeah, the first impression that Canadian felt was a South African nose cone so far up his backside that like South Africa was like coming out of his tonsils.
Kyle was just reminding him who we are.
But then comes through and finishes top 10 in the final.
Phenomenal, yeah.
You know,
Unreal first 2 laps.
Yeah.
Barrichello helped though. Let's be very clear. Barrichello
helped a little bit
helped.
too. Yeah, look at my who was that we spoke about in the friend? Nicolo Pico also had a hand in assisting a few passes for me. But
yeah. But just, you know, the pleasure that obviously you were a bit more understated when you won on Saturday. You've been before. It was a head-to-head fight with Charles Visser.
Yeah, difficult.
The reaction of the entire paddock when you won. I even said I could see there was like people tall, short, in Formula K jackets sprinting, all mechanics, you know, sprinting down to see you. You know, that must be quite a nice feeling because people want, I'm not saying people didn't want you to win, obviously.
Yeah, 100%.
So many people were so happy for you to win. You know, that says a lot about the way that you carry yourself.
Well, both of you were happy to see you guys. I mean, even the competitor you beat was happy to see you.
Was happy for you.
Yeah, no, and he's a phenomenal driver. So to have him and me compete, and the fact that it's just
But it's always interesting at podium presentations. You'll start to know this, is that the kids, the drivers, not just the kids.
No, I've noticed it really. I know where you're going.
There's a different level of applause. Everyone's team, all the people in your team cheered for you. They're going to. But then you listen, how many members of other teams are cheering for you?
Yeah.
And how many of them are doing, we got to clap.
Yeah, but I think that was the question. Because Henry was going with the question, which was, you are now, and we spoke about this outside, we are now, especially with you being an importer and a dealer, you getting involved as a driver coach, you're driver coaching. We've spoken about the fact that there's a massive shortfall of driver coaches in the country. So it's now starting to fall on us. I mean, Leroy's been doing this for years. He's not going to do it forever. Etienne's done it for years. He's not going to do it for years. I have big respect for all the bigger teams, but they're not going to do it forever.
No.
At the end of the day, we're going to be the ones that are going to be in those places and doing those things. So it's kind of up to us in terms of the responsibility for South African karting and how we portray South African karting.
And how we carry ourselves forward.
And now we're going to a world stage. And I mean, you spoke about this with me at length. We've spoken about this. You know, maybe it's time that we start taking charge and go, hey guys, let's go as a South African team and let's put this together properly. I mean, you've got all the contacts in the world in terms of business and you know how to write a great email. We can start looking at going, hey, there's a bunch of us going. How's about a cheaper flight? How's about cheaper accommodation? You know, maybe it's about time that we become the new, we start doing it.
Or even if you go to an airline and say, I've got to book 30 tickets with you because we're all on the same flight.
Yeah, surely we can get a different...
Come give us a discount.
Yeah. Or is there a business rate that one of us, these 30 people, has got a business that we can all book it under to make sure it's cheaper for everyone? Because, you know, I don't mind saying stuff that might get me in the hot water. I'm going to come back to South Africa many times. So, the OGs, Kronya, Piazza Musso, Poulter, or you revere, they're still revered. They were the linchpins of the sport when karting in South Africa on a global scale was at its highest. Okay. Then there was a gap. There's been a gap.
Yeah.
Because South Africa has won diddly squat.
Yeah, I think it's time to fill that.
Elves in 2016.
I'm sitting very close to him to be saying stuff like this. I'm sitting very close to him to be making these comments.
This is 8 years ago. 8 years ago.
No, it's a long time.
Yeah. Since South Africa
been
on
a
the
while.
podium.
Yes.
Now, after Poulter or Cronia, Piazza Musso, when they passed our sport on to the generation, there's been a problem. And for whatever reason, and I'm not criticising individuals, I don't pretend to know. However, the state of South African karting now is you guys are still looking up to that generation. There's
We
a
need to start making
generation.
our
The
own
generation is
generation.
there's been a generation that has been skipped
Yeah.
and has left the sport as we find it, trying to find its feet again.
Yes.
Now I get the feeling that yourself, you guys, the likes of Delon, likes of Charles,
Neil Basilio.
the Basilio, who are in their early to mid
Jared Ray, all the
20s,
small teams, yeah.
the sports in this country is now yours, and for the Luan Duets, the Luke de Toys, the Brody Dowlings, they're looking up at you guys, and you now have a responsibility to do your time at the forefront of the sport and make sure it is in a better place for them to
when
come
we had
through.
it.
Yeah.
And a better place for a bunch of kids who were in Bambino this weekend. There was a 4-year-old, Declan.
Yeah, Declan.
4 years old. You know, he probably still needs, you know, help.
Yeah, so like, I mean, there must be
So-
the point we're trying to make is that must be a rather large mantle to carry.
Yes.
You know? Like, I
And
don't think
yeah.
you realise it, but it's there.
No, but I think they do. I think that I
It is
think
there,
I think I
yes.
think you guys
And
do.
it's
Big shoes.
important
Having
how
met
we
you.
carry ourselves forward
Yeah.
because they are all looking up to us.
Yeah, I'm confident. Having met some of you guys occasionally overseas, but now having spent some time with you in at home at length, chatting after a race meeting where it's just a group of people chatting, I'm confident. I feel as though, unfortunately, this is the sort of the circus ringleader. You know, but there's no. But in all seriousness, he might look like a fool.
No, he's not.
But
He's far from it.
no, but exactly. No, I'm joking. There's a reason why that he's my co-host. That I sort of speak to Rotax. I want Kyle to co-host my show, the biggest event in world karting, because of the passion that you have for karting and the fact that you see a bigger picture. You guys see a bigger picture. Yeah, a win in Portugal would be great. A great team performance. With
Honestly, I think if we came back without a single trophy, but we all went there as a team, we all went forward as a team, even if we go backwards as a team,
And we all
as long
work
as we do
together.
it as a
As long-
team,
We all
as long-
stay together.
I think
Yeah.
that's...
Win and lose together.
But
not
you've
like
seen
as
it.
a
You've
bunch
seen it
of
in T4. We've
individuals,
gone
yeah.
over in T4 together.
But
Right?
it wasn't always like that.
It was a bit fractured, but it's been better every
Yeah.
single year.
Yeah,
What was T4 like the year we got back after we went together?
so much better.
The whole series that year was that much better because we came back with more camaraderie.
Yeah.
We came back with more cheers.
And we're coming back with positivity to
Yes.
give to
How do we go
everyone
forward?
else.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, when I left Bahrain with you guys, there was positive. I mean, and it took me a year of getting to not have it anymore. And then I go to Sana and I came back positive. And then
Yeah.
I spend the year getting hit down like a nail sticking out. And then I go, and it just keeps invigorating my push forward because we go to these grand finals, we go to these events, we go to these awesome things.
Well, things are getting better because you said it. At the end of the race, Charles Visser, who you just beat, was the first one to congratulate you. Great driver.
Phenomenal.
Mohammed Wali won probably the most in terms of titles, Africa Opens, the most successful South African karter of this generation.
On paper.
Was happy to see
was
him
happy
win.
to see you win.
Yeah.
His mum gave you a massive hug. I spoke to his mum and dad. They was like, "I was so happy for Kian." You know, that's a positive.
That's the
to start
positivity
with.
you want. That's
Yeah.
the racing you want.
But
You've
there's
just
we
taken away that
spoke
kid's
about
dreams.
this.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
what I want to go to.
But
is
they're
that
happy.
It's important that the other kids hear what you have to say as well and what you do as a coach. Is because we have this mentality of Formula 1 is the be. I mean, Formula 1 is the be all and end all. Karting is not Formula 1. It's you're racing for a plastic. You're different at your level, but for a youngster, where Raf is now, where Brody is now,
They're racing for a plastic trophy.
we're racing for a plastic trophy. But we're there to also educate the correct way to go racing.
And teach them
Yeah.
to go
The
forward in
efficacy
the right
of going
way.
racing.
In life as well.
And that's the one thing we forget as coaches is that yes, we've taught a kid how to be a karter, but they've been around us for 3-4 years every weekend in the hardest possible emotional states they can be in. We're also almost molding them how to behave as an adult as much as their parents are because they spend that much time with us.
100%.
And it is a really important job to look at. And you and I had this in Spain, and we actually we've
spoke
spoken
about
about
this
this.
after I won. I really wanna chat about
we
this.
had a fallout in Spain because I went to Kian and I said, "But you have everything there to do it. Everything is there, but the only thing we're forgetting about is hard work. We're not putting the work in that is necessary to get to that level because what we don't realize is every single one of these drivers from T4." Because the drivers that drove in T4 were no slouches.
Absolutely.
all the way up to grand final level now in European karting. The level is way up of what it's been for years. And every single one of those drivers has talent. But guess what? They've got talent and they're putting in hard work. Physical preparation has not become something that a fun thing to do. It's now a necessity.
Yeah.
You have to understand data. You have to understand that your body needs to be at the right fuel and the right. And that's what you've done. You've done that turnover. And you've gone from being, and it is. You were still getting there. You've only had 6 years. So last year you were kind of inside the top 6, but that was inside the top 6. Yes.
Yeah.
Now you've gone from that to a consistent front runner.
Yeah.
And the change was, what you've
Hard
gone
work.
through this year and hard work.
But also, the first thing Carl said to me after I won the African Open, I came up and I was looking for him because I really wanted to chat to him.
Yeah.
Was the Kian of 2 years ago would not have won that race.
Yeah, and even if the Kian of 2 years ago had won that race, the grandstands
crowd,
wouldn't have gone the way they did for him.
100%.
Because they've seen the work you put in.
Yeah, but as well, the person I am now is not the person I've always been. Because Carl talks about like the responsibility of driver coaches and that you're not just teaching kids how to drive and how to be a good kart driver. Yeah, you're actually teaching them how to be like adults and how to what a
carry
good
themselves
person looks
properly.
like.
Exactly.
How to deal with different situations, CSCs,
How to deal with difficult
teams not
situations.
doing what you need to do.
How to deal with the fact that life ain't fair.
Yeah. So my biggest
100%.
hurdle personally was always like I kind of felt like the whole world was against me and that no one wanted me to win and that everyone wanted to see me lose. And my mindset was always like I need to prove everyone wrong because everyone around me wants to see me fail. That was the Kian of 2 years ago that I was talking about. And that's why the crowd probably wouldn't have been that happy to see me win if I won 2 years ago. And I really don't want to give credit to Carl, so this is going to suck. This is really going to suck.
It's so hard for him.
Well, no, but this is where coaching and even announcing, you are there to sort of inspire.
Yeah.
These kids spend more time with their driver coaches than they do with their English teacher or their maths teacher, or if they've got homeschooled, their online tutors. Driver coaches have more, because as well, kids don't listen to mum and dad necessarily.
No.
So the driver coach has more influence to mould a young person in every way as a driver, but as a human than anything else.
Yeah.
And parents entrust their children's safety, their children's careers, their children's dreams
In your hands.
in your hands. And the good driver coaches understand that.
But it
it's
just
more
shows
about
you how
pots.
positive karting can be, like where Kian came from to where he is now. It's,
As an individual,
Yeah.
Karting's done that.
Yeah, it was. And I mean, like I said, I really don't want to give credit to Carl, but...
Then don't.
Yeah, no, he needs it. No, he needs it. He needs it because at the beginning we did a Tillotson Championship together and I started working with Carl and Rotax and Leroy. I can't thank him enough. I want to make that clear. Where he's played a big part in this journey and Delon, obviously. But like the things Carl helped me see that I couldn't understand prior, like how you lose is just as important as how you win. And that's easy to say to yourself and be like, okay, cool, yeah, obviously how you lose is important and how you carry yourself is important. But it's really easy to carry yourself well when things are going well and when things are easy. Yeah. And it's exceptionally difficult to do that when things are going bad. And that's what I struggled with. And Carl helped me, like, if you're taking the losses this badly and when things are bad, you're making them worse, you're never going to be in good situations and you're going to make good situations bad.
Yeah.
And I called him an idiot and I called him a million other things. I was like, no, Carl, you're absolutely wrong. And then, slowly, even though I argued...
You know where this is going.
Even though I argued and like I made it difficult every step of the way, but I had the people around me to support me and make me who I am now. So when I won and you mentioned the reaction, I mean, it's by far the most special moment in my life up until now. But it was rewarding, obviously, to win and to see my hard work, actually translate into a trophy. But also from like a personal side, everyone came and congratulated me afterwards and giving me hugs and these
think,
long
why
speeches.
are they doing that? They don't have to do that.
Exactly. And it's,
to show you how far you've come.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
you
also
put that
for
point-
motorsport in South Africa.
But that's
it hasn't
what I'm
always been
saying.
like
You wanted to put that credit on me, and it's not on me. Honestly, it's not. None of the credit the way that I speak to you guys, the way that I work with you guys, is not on me. Remember, I had this. I had coaches like Robert Briggs. I had coaches. Dario Montalbio was a big mentor to me. Claudio Piazzamuso was a huge mentor to me. I've had these guys throughout my motorsport, Paolo Piazzamuso as well. I've had these guys throughout my motorsport career that took me from being that kid that threw helmets. And you can talk to anybody that was around in my years. I was an absolute brat. And unfortunately, my entire life was I was a lot more of a brat than what I am now. Unfortunately, my entire life was put on broadcast in motorsport. And everybody knows my issues with drugs and my issues with substances and my issues with all of that I've had to contend with. And the real fact of the matter is I never would have overcome any of those challenges that I've had throughout my life, personally and both in motorsport, if it wasn't for the people in South African motorsport. And I've been really blessed in the last 4 years to be surrounded by those really good people in South African motorsport. And you and I can get negative very quickly. We do it often. But we forget of the really good people in South African motorsport. The Neil Smiths, the Leroy Poulters, the list goes on and on and on. DeLon, Robert Briggs, like the names, Bjorn Roos, the names go on and on and on of all these good people that are around to build us. Where's he all one of them as well?
You know, doing for karting in Africa. See, this is where I'm struggling a little bit because the negative, and I'm sure the negativity that is around, but I cannot equate the people that I have met in this last week and the people from South Africa that I meet, you know, at Silverstone, the Rotax, all the other grand finals. I can't equate the people that I meet, to some of the things that have happened in karting that I've heard, because, you know, the people are some of the most welcoming, collective, you know, switched on, nice, engaging people I've met in the world in South Africa, and yet it's a tough one for me to reconcile because there are so many incredible people in karting in South Africa that really, you know, make, you know, the South African Rotax team, you know, so incredibly revered, and rightly so.
And I mean, it goes back to like Jamie now. Jamie just won DD2 African Open. You should be immensely happy, ecstatic. And you are. But what was your driver's results were what you spoke to me about when I first spoke to you after you won. We didn't talk about your result. No. We spoke about your driver's results. And we spoke about how you're working with him and what you're working on. And we spoke about our drivers and as driver coaches and our lives as driver coaches before we even spoke about the ticket.
Yeah, it's still important to me to win, but because I got so many drivers and I'm running this brand and carrying a team forward, like I care about them some days, care about them more than myself because I want to see them succeed.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least talk us through that last couple of laps of that African Open. Kian, we'll come to you for yours as well. I mean, you had all of us like climbing fences, but
no, it was intense. Like having Scholl behind you, like he is. You can't knock him the credit. I mean, he's been driving since he was 5. He's won mini South African Championship. He's always at the front of a karting field when he drives.
Yeah.
So to have him behind you and you go fast and he goes fast and you go fast, it's just. Yeah, the pressure was.
I love that type of race.
Yeah, it was intense.
There's no real racing, but they know they're racing.
No. Visser puts down a purple lap. You're leading. You put down a purple lap. Visser puts another purple lap.
Yeah.
Instead of bottling it, you put another purple lap in. Visser goes, okay, I'll put another purple lap.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you're turning around in third place, and is a straight behind you because you're in your own world. And you were pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. And then.
But there's no better way to go racing.
No, exactly.
You want that. Yeah. You don't want to win a race.
Exactly. That was incredible.
And win by like 4 sets. It's boring. Like
you want a race for
it. You could feel the intensity around. You can feel the people in the grandstand. Everyone's over the fence and like go. Like it's insane.
Yeah. Of course there was a back marker, but hey.
Oh, those back markers made it interesting at the end.
Hey, but how do you?
One almost caught you up.
But we watched the back last night, and that was a proper full set.
Yeah.
Like into turn 1.
I had to, like, you know what, and it was a risk, but I was like, if I go now and he turns in, it's just going to give me that little bit of breathing room.
And it did.
And it did.
Because you were coming over the flyover, and another lad, another turned in on you.
Yeah.
And that could have been, and you had to defend into the sweep then, because Charles was right close to it.
I was waiting for it.
It just
and
happened.
we both know Charles could be within 2 car lengths going
and
into that left hand.
He'll still make a move.
Yeah, no. But that was DD2. Go on then.
Senior Max.
That was a race.
You had a lot of people on the fence talking to you.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, my view of that race was interesting. So
Started
obviously,
third.
Yeah, started third. So, I mean, my pre-final was quite eventful. I also started that in third. I think I left turn 1 probably in 12th or 13th. And I was like, okay, well, this has made my life a little bit difficult. And had 12 laps to fight back. Got to third by some miracle. And then going into the final, last year I also started third.
Oh, right.
And
Okay.
I put a lot of... Last year was my first time really fighting for anything this big. Yeah. And I was... I don't want to swear, so I'm just going to say I was really scared going into that first final.
You were shitting yourself.
I was shitting myself.
Commentators Curse.
Yeah, I was shitting myself going into that final.
I know she looked at these. I don't want to swear. I looked at the logo.
And so I put a lot of pressure on myself last year and it didn't go my way. And so this time when I was sitting there in third, I was like, I don't have a point to prove anymore. I don't have any
Just
of
go
this
and enjoy
external
it,
pressure.
Yeah.
I just want to go out there and have fun. If I drive to my ability, I can win this race. So that's all that I should care about.
Because there was 4 leaders in the first lap.
Yeah.
There was Darrell, there was yourself,
Jesse
Yeah,
Schwartz.
Jesse
there
Smart.
was Jesse Smart, and there was Duplessis. I think
He came to second. Yeah.
Duplessis led. But then we all thought Jesse had gone.
Hold him in.
Then you hold him in, and then of course you take the lead.
Yeah.
I think it was about lap 7.
Yeah, lap 7.
Down
And
at
it was
turn
a proper
5.
sin.
Into the pit corner. So I mean, my thought
And then
process
Darrell
was...
started helping you out quite
Yeah,
nicely.
So my thought process into this race, okay, I'm a bit of a nerd, so I've actually watched a lot of karting races. I mean, I made a Tom Fleming reference in the
And
morning,
that was
which
incredible.
is so niche.
Flembog gets the Flembog scale of
outside
naughty
passes.
cutbacks.
Yeah, the fact that I know that
Mentioned
is
this
so nerdy. So my thought process was just that, I've seen what other drivers have done to win this, and my thought was get into the lead hard and with a big pass so that the guy in first gets sent back a few races and panics. Get a lead from that, and then
keep
do
building
not
that.
make a
To
mistake.
be fair, this is always the Lon's advice.
Yes.
It's
Get to the
not
front
race.
early.
Get to the
I'm
front
understand.
and
You
get
can
gone.
control from the
And
front, so
especially
get to
if
the
you've
front.
raced him, his main goal is if he
Get to the
starts
front.
in 9th,
Yeah.
he wants to be
Get
third
to
or
the
second.
front.
And
go.
even
By the
if
end
the
of
guy
lap
has a
1.
nose cone, you still got to full send him into the
Yeah,
last one.
exactly. So my thought process was, again, if you're the leader, you're the one in control. It's everyone chasing
Yes,
you and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
on you. So I was like, get to the lead hard,
Yeah.
fast, and then hope.
Well,
And put in the best 13 or however many laps it was of my life.
Apart
from
from when he
there.
drove off the track this one.
Yeah, so
Twice.
I get to Jesse. I passed Darrell, who did not make my life easy getting past him. And
As
he
he does
drove
with
really
no
well.
Yeah.
And I saw Jesse, I think it was a second or so in front of me, and I was like, okay, I need to catch him fast. I need to get to him now. I can't leave this to the end, because I know Wally's behind me, I know Emma's behind me, I know Marshall's behind me, Beaumont. I mean, the talent in that senior field is crazy.
It was huge.
So I was like, if I stay here, they're going to catch me, and I'm not going to win this race.
Yeah.
So I caught Jesse, and my thinking there was just don't let him see me when I pass him.
Yeah,
I don't
just
want him
get
to
there
look back
quiet,
and know
yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah.
Get there
Sneak attack.
fast and then make a move.
Yeah.
So I got to the pit corner. I was like, okay, cool. I'm 2 carts back, all or nothing. Centered. He gave me room. Got past, and then he defended for second, which was exactly what I was hoping he would do. And then this is where it was kind of an interesting conversation because everyone thought I knew that I had a big gap. But I purposely didn't look behind me because I was like,
noticed you
I
not
want to
looking
pretend that Muhammad
yeah,
Wali
which is
is
what we-
right
yeah,
behind
yeah,
me.
yeah.
And every lap has to be perfect. So I didn't know if I had a 1 second, half a tenth. I didn't know what the gap behind me was. And then on lap 15, I looked back and I saw a Sodi kart and I was like, okay, game on. It's Wally, right?
Yeah.
If there's anyone I don't want chasing me for an African Open title, it's Muhammad Wali. And I was like, okay, cool. And I'm looking at the big pit wall, and Delon he coached me through it really well. I mean, so much credit to him. I wouldn't have won that race without all the hard work Delon's put in. And he's just telling me to focus, put the laps in and drive. And every lap I'm looking up there. I've got Kyle giving me reassurance. I've got, to be honest, half the grandstand is busy cheering for me and telling me what to do. I've got Derek in turn 1 telling me what the gap is. And I'm just like, okay, 5 laps. That's all that's between me and winning this now. Just don't make a mistake now. And then the first thing I do is make a mistake. Obviously. Yeah,
as you do. Yeah.
Obviously, the
As
first
you
thing I do
yeah,
is make a
yeah.
mistake. And the first thing I see after that is Kyle, Jamie, Delon losing their minds on the grandstand. Like, Kian, relax. Yeah, please. And
It was a great story of a race.
Yeah.
Because when we were in the morning, you said I'd be thinking about this day since January. I trade a national championship for an African Open in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And as a commentator, it was a great gift because you're there in the lead. You're there in the lead as an underdog with the most successful driver of all.
Chasing me down.
Chasing you down. So that was a great gift for me to be able to call that race. And I know that, it was fantastic.
Well, there is something that I want to do before we let you guys go, and it's unpopular opinions, because we all watch Bump Draft and we all see unpopular opinions. And Henry has brought up an opinion that I think is incredibly incorrect, and it should be removed, and we need to correct it here on Commentators Curse. He said an aerosuit is a good idea.
I agree with Henry, so I'm not
What?
gonna be
How
on the
can you
popular
agree
side
that
of
an
this.
aerosuit is a good idea?
Is that new thing I saw?
that tight,
The
super tight
cycling
lycra.
suit,
No.
yes,
No.
okay.
I don't think it's a good thing.
Okay, cool. It's us against them. There we go.
That's okay.
Okay, so go back to Kian a year ago. Go back to Kian a year ago. Before we lost 60 kilos, would you wear an aerosuit
Absolutely
then?
not. So,
Right? Do you see my point?
Fat Kian does not like an aerosuit, but slightly less fat Kian likes the idea of it. For the simple reason that it's a 10th a lap. You don't have to work.
I'm going to drive a 10 faster. Like I'm not going to put that
I
on.
want to know one thing. It's just the last
How's
question.
your
again,
skin
sorry.
meant to breathe?
Yeah. Well,
works for cycling.
How are you meant to
moving
breathe?
on from the popular opinions.
Okay, sorry.
You've got a South Africa race suit. You've got the African Open P1 trophy, and you've got a ticket with your name on it. What makes you most proud right at this moment? 2 days, a day after winning the Africa Open.
Probably my team behind me.
It's, okay, yeah.
That probably makes me the most proud.
Okay. You ticket. That's going to have Kian Spies written on it.
No, but out of those, Jamie, out of those three things,
Out of the three things.
what is the one thing that? Because for me, it was my suit. To get that South African suit
I think it's your suits. I think it's such a privilege to wear it.
I mean,
And
The suit.
yeah.
I remember rocking up as a mildly overweight kid, not very popular to Formula K, and having this guy abuse me in a 4-stroke.
Yes, wearing my suit.
And wearing a South African suit, and I was like, this guy is so cool. Like, imagine having one of those.
And then you met him.
And true. Imagine having one of those, and like you
So
don't.
what's this about then? Imagine having one of those. Why have we got pink?
Yeah, that's the
pink
one thing I also
sweat
want to check with you, Kian, is that
Is this?
Delon brought blue
tell us
because
something?
ice.
Yeah.
Nico brought orange
There we
because it's
go.
the Orange Army. Kian, you brought us pink.
Hey,
red
tell us.
cap.
No, guys. You know this. I am on record many times saying that like drinking this is literally like probably my favorite pastime.
kidding.
I love a pink Red Bull. I go through
The
like.
boy loves a pink.
No, I
Red
do.
Bull.
I do. It's a personality
Please make sure
trait
you
of
cut
mine.
that out.
No,
and we start
please
making
don't.
memes of
Please
Kian going,
don't.
I love a
Please
pink
don't.
Red Bull.
No, I love-
And
I
then we
do
just take
though.
Red Bull out and we go, I love a
And you
pink
know what's
shirt.
crazy? If you ask the people in the Circles canteen, the only times they saw me during the African Open, I bought 6 of those on that day. And just
8 minutes
No
before
wonder
the
you could
final
have calmed down.
Yeah,
No wonder
yeah,
you could have calmed
yeah.
down.
so that's why I brought them, not because they're pink, Carl. And
It wasn't me.
You're
He said
running
that.
commentary.
But
on
he said
Yeah,
that.
but he's
I
under
didn't
your
say it.
influence
I'm
with this line
influenced by
of
him.
joking.
But no, that's. I'm glad. What I'm getting from this trip, and what is so pleasing, is that the nation of South Africa, for whatever ills there are in the sport, there are still so many people that are so passionate about the sport that they'll take a South Africa race suit over anything else.
Yeah, also getting back
Just-
to
just to be-
the suit, like when you first appear on, like, you come into karting
Yeah.
and you see, like, Carl and, Shaw and all of these guys wearing it, like, all you want to do is get to the point where you can achieve that.
Yeah.
So I think
It's almost like a blazer. Like
Yeah,
back in the day we had
it's like
Springbok
wearing
blazer.
your-
That's our new Springbok blazer.
that's like wearing your Springbok blazer and karting. Like,
Perfect.
everyone wants to get there.
Excellent. Well, in that case, I will see you
Important.
and you in Portimao.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Can't wait.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Henry.
Thanks for the commentating weekend. It's phenomenal to have you.
Thank you for having us on.
Yeah.
Well, that brings to a close our very special African Open Commentators Curse episode.
the
We had
first
2
ones.
seniors. You were the first ones to have our first special with Henry. Well, you weren't first. Luan and Brody were. So there's that.
No, that's
I don't mind losing to Luan.
What a unique way to introduce the first 4 members
Yes,
of
of
this
our
year's
South African
Rotax Grand Finals Team South Africa team.
And this isn't the last time you'll
other
be here for this, because
other
you will be
nations
back.
can watch and learn. This is how South Africa introduce their Rotax Grand finalists over to you, other nations.
Because in all honesty, we are so proud of the guys the guys and girls that we send over for our grand finals. This is something that I want to keep doing. You will be back here with me when we announce the full team. This is obviously just the mid-year break. We've done the African Open. So, guys, if you have tuned in and watched, I'm so glad that you did, and I hope you enjoyed this karting-specific content. There will be more karting-specific content that will come out as we go forward. That is why we've gone to a 10-day cycle. And that concludes our very special African Open segment with Kian Spies and Jamie Smith. Please make sure you tune in to all our channels near the 7th of November, where we will be bringing you all the information. We are trying to get Voyeurism to come join us over there and make sure that he gives us as much content as possible. But from myself, Henry, it's been an absolute pleasure having you. I'm so glad you could enjoy it. And I'm sure we'll have you more.
Genuinely a pleasure. Well done, guys.
That brings it close to this episode. Thank you, guys.